Today, Necromaniac here. Today I want to do a small video on basic shapes. I want to do this because when I made some time-lapse videos, people asked me about the shapes I use and how to create them. Basically, it goes too fast for them to actually see how it's been created. I also know as a fact that a lot of people avoid using the more difficult block types like the mitered one and the pyramid and the chipped piece and the cut corner piece, which are really easy to use if you know how, and that's basically the purpose of this video. So let's get to it. I'll be recreating some of these pre-made shapes that I laid out for you. Not all of them, because some of them are pretty obvious. So yeah, let's start with some basic simple shapes. This is basically the pyramid, as you can see. That's why this is the pyramid corner. You can understand it. It's a really easy shape, and you can use it to a lot of in a lot of good ways to make your buildings more interesting. I laid out a couple examples, but before we get to that, I want to show you the fact that you really want to use an equal number of blocks when you're doing these pyramids. As you can see, I laid out a 3-piece base layer, like 3x3, and as you can see, you'll end up with a topped off point. We don't have this shape yet. I can imagine this will definitely make its appearance later on, but for now we have to do it with these 6 block types, which makes it challenging and fun as well, because if you're limited, you have to be creative to get where you want to be. So that's that. This is basically the same shape as the pyramid, but then we have it turned by 45 degrees. So what we used here is, instead of the pyramid corner piece, we used the chip piece and the cut corner piece. So as you can see, I'll remove some like that, and this is basically the chipped one. If you hold the control button on existing blocks, you can actually get the same block as you left click on, so you can use that later on to get quick access to certain blocks that you already placed and you want to save time on that. So for example, I removed this one, but this one down here is exactly the same, as you can see. So we want this piece over there. Hold the control button, left click on it, and you'll get it. So that's a shortcut to get to your materials without going through the block selector. So yeah, that's the 2 first. I won't be recreating these because these are kind of obvious. You can definitely make those. You can use them in various ways. I set it up a wall here with the normal pyramid shape on its side. You can see that it's really nice to have them supporting a well, like a wall section that you can walk on, like a walkway, like this. So basically, on the other side, I used the other example that I just showed you. So you can, they're both looking almost similar, but as you can see, yeah, it's whatever your preference is. So that's one use of them. I also use them a lot on top of towers, and yeah, you can see that the points are really robust, and you can, yeah, really use it to get some decorative pieces in. So that's it for the pyramid shapes. Sorry. Now for the others. This one is a diagonal beam. Basically, you can see that it's really easy to create. It's a ramp block, and then it's a solid block, another solid block, and then a ramp block flipped over, as you can see. So a ramp, block, ramp. So if you want to make these, it's really simple. Just make sure you select one layer, and just make one layer, hit the copy by pressing C, hit the paste button by pressing V, and you can make it as big as you want. So that's that. I won't be recreating this one because this one is fairly easy, as you can see. However, this one over here is a little bit more interesting. It's a rounded diagonal beam. It's a bit more work to create, but if you set it up the first layer, you can just copy it the same as I just showed you with this one. I will be recreating this one because you will see that it is really easy to create. Let's go. Well, I can hover over here so you can see the basic setup. We have two solid blocks in the middle. There is a chip piece here, a chip piece here that's been flipped over. There is a another cut off piece from the cut corner piece. So basically it's a really easy shape once you made it once, and you can use it so many times and in so many ways. So let's get started with this one. Now, as you can see, I just copied this section, and whenever I select something from the block selector, you can see that I get this material times the amount of blocks I had. Now, a lot of people ask how you can remove this. It's really simple. You can do it in two ways. If you select it like I did, a material from your block selector, you can hit the comma button like this one twice on your keyboard, like I do now, and it's gone. Another way is to use the control left click again, like I just showed you. So hold control, click on any block you like. I'll just click on the floor, and you get this block that you clicked on, and you get rid of the pasted selection. So that's the two ways to get rid of them. Now let's get back to that pillar I was promising you. Okay, we're gonna rotate it first. There we go. I always click it first and then commit if I'm not sure about the position. That saves you some time deleting it if you go too fast. Now for the next piece, we're gonna have this chip of the corner. I'm gonna place it over there, gonna rotate it, and now we have this piece right there. Gonna turn it again. There we go, and a solid block. And now comes the really nice trick. Basically, one side of this matches the other side, but then flipped on its head. So we go to the selection tool. We select the 6 blocks we just placed, like this. We hit the copy button, we hit the paste button, and we're gonna flip it over like this, turn it, and we're gonna place it in front of it. And you can see that it's in place. Like I said, I just click it and then commit it. As you can see, that's the first layer of the pillar. Now this is where it's getting really easy. Just select all the blocks, hit a copy, hit the paste button, and you can go as big as you want. And as you can see, it's really not that hard to create a rounded diagonal beam. So that was it for now. Another nice thing about this is that you can rotate it, and it will, as you look from above, it will have the same size. So I use this a lot of times to get some tree branches. I tried to make the mother of all trees, like a lot of people of you tried, to get the Tuata vibe going, but I horribly failed. I put it aside and I will wait for the curved blocks to make their appearance, because yeah, that saves me some time struggling with this. But if you use 5 to rotate, you can see that it will fit perfectly in place. You can also use this to get some decorative things in. If you want to make a swirl that goes up, you can get that in as well. I'll just do a couple of them to give you an idea of what that will look like. This kind of looks like a turd to me though. Alright, so from a distance it looks kind of cool, and as you can see, it's not that difficult, and well, have a go at it. I wouldn't hold back, just try it. Now this is another beam that goes towards the corner. I use this in my latest build as well, that I did for Freetown, to make a support for the roof that I'll be making. This is really nice because you can support corners and stuff like that. So this one I will recreate as well, because this one is kind of nifty. It uses one of the same blocks here and a couple others. This will mainly be the pyramid shape. So let's get to that. I'll hit it twice and click the pyramid. There we go. We want to have, there's always one square side of the pyramid. For this first piece, we want to have the square side on the floor. So let's make that happen first, and then we can rotate it with 5 to the desired position, like this. So I'll commit it. Now the next block will be a ramp, like this. I'm gonna flip it like that. There's gonna be a solid block in the middle, like that. Now the next one is a pyramid as well. I missed it. There we go. Now, as you can see, you want the square part of the pyramid facing away from where we look at now. So we're gonna make that happen first, like this. It turned on its position like this. So we're gonna rotate it like that with 3. I just did that with 3. We're gonna make another one here as well. We're gonna rotate it with 5 first, so we get the square side over here, like that. And now we can rotate it with 4 on its axle, like that. Commit it. Now this one is also, you can also use the same trick as I did with this one. You can copy and flip it and place it on the other side. So that's what we're gonna do. You can see that there's gonna be 2 holes in there, so I'm gonna fill one of the holes up for the copy, like that. I'll show you why, so we don't have to do that later on after the copy. We're gonna copy and we're gonna paste it, we're gonna flip it, and we're gonna turn it like I think. It didn't make any sense, because as you can see, you still have 1 hole to fill, so that didn't make any sense. Well, it did work. We only have to get a solid block in to complete it, like that. And then we're going to select the whole thing, hit the copy, hit the paste. If you start from the bottom up, you'll have no problem stacking it on top of each other, because a lot of times, as you probably know, the copied, or I mean the pasted selection will not be in the right position that you want. Let's see if I can show you an example of that. Well, let's say I want to go downwards. I'm gonna flip it over. Let's say I want to yeah, let's say I want to go down here as well, and I want it to be right underneath here. As you can see, it's almost there, but not quite. I just wanted this corner to align with this corner. Now there's a trick to do this, which is really easy, but if you don't know it, it took me like a month to find this. If you have it almost in place, remember how many blocks it's off. So it's one block to the left and one block to the forward. So click any block, doesn't matter. I'll just click the wooden one because we have the wooden one right now. You can see that your pasted selection turns into a solid block. Now what we'll do is we'll drag it to this side. We'll drag this one as well to this side. We'll drag it one forward. We'll drag this one. So basically, this is the position that we want it in. Now we're gonna hit the V button again, and as you can see, it will paste on that exact same position. Now we can spin it like we just did, and this is where I want it. So basically, you can precisely place the block wherever you want, the pasted selection. It just takes a little workaround. So this is another useful tip. I know a lot of people struggled with copying things into place, and like this, it's gonna be a piece of cake. So after you got it in place, just hit one and it's there. So that's a small tip for copying as well. I got this explained in a small other video, but those videos get lost on the forums, so I just point it out again for those who missed it. Okay, let's continue. Over here I kind of made a mold with the inlay of the mold. So again, this is the pyramid shape and the mitred shape over here. This is particularly useful if you want to create roofing. I'll show you here. I made a little tiny house with a roof like that. I'll delete a small section and redo it to show you a really fast way to get it done. Alright, let's delete that. Now this is what I always start off with the solid blocks. The reason for that is you don't want to start with the corners because you don't have anything to place them up against, so that's why I do it. I always go like one step down because you're gonna get the ramps in later on, so there we go. As you can see, it's almost like staircases, and you can put the ramps on top of them. So solid blocks first, then you go for the ramps. For this I'll just put them in place quickly. As you can see, I leave some room for the corner pieces already here, because then you don't have to delete them later on. It's kind of obvious. There we go. Forgot this one as well. You can already see what's happening. You get the cavities for the mitred pieces, and you get the cavities for the pyramid pieces. There we go. So solid blocks, the ramps. Now we go for the pyramids, put them in place. We want to have the square facing downwards, so we're gonna make that happen first. Like that. Now it's just a matter of turning it with 5. So there we go. And there we go. And this piece right there. As you can see, there's currently a bug with the textures. As you can see, if you use shapes like these, the faces will turn into a solid color of red, or if you use the grass type, they'll turn into a greenish solid. So it will probably be fixed soon, but that's just the way it is now. So as you can see, it's really easy to create a roof like this. So that was that. Now for this mold that I made, this is usually what I use to get some decorative pieces on the buildings I made. This is a cross. You can make it a little bit bigger like this. You can open it up like this, so you have the texture with a different material underneath it popping out more. You can just play a little bit with that. Obviously you can see this one is diagonal, and if you want to get the beveled edges, it's a little bit more tricky than the other straightforward type. So as you can see, these bevels contain the chip piece and the cut corner piece. So like this, as you can see, that's basically how you go diagonal. Pretty straightforward. If you haven't used it, just play a little bit with it, because you can get a lot of nice shapes out of that. And same with this one. It feels a bit more rounded than the one to the right over here. Yeah, it's just a little bit more work, and as you can see with the selection tool, it consists out of no solid block at all, although you would think it is, and same with the diagonal one. It's only ramps that are put on its sides. So it's yeah, just try to get some more variations in it by trying to go diagonal. There is just one thing I want to point out on doing so. I made a diagonal square and a straightforward square here, and the thing I want to point out is that these two are pretty much the same size, but as you can see, I got 1, 2, 3, 4 faces here, and I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 faces over here. So basically, to stay the same size, you have to make your diagonal, I think it was about 2/3 of what you would be using a straightforward square. So this one is 6, and 2/3 of that is 4, so you go 4 diagonal. The reason I'm pointing this out is if you go too small and you go with 4, that basically means you have to go with a number that cannot be achieved, and you get uneven thicknesses in pillars you're gonna make. So that's the thing you want to keep in mind, because you don't want to have two towers that are, I mean two pillars that aren't looking similar, and if you keep this ground rule and just build a little bit bigger, you can actually make it look really nice. Now for this one, I just told you I used it for decorative pieces. For the Freetown build, I started on a tower, and I used this same cross that I I'm showing you right now. This is basically the same pattern that I just lay down on the floor for you. So as you can see, this looks really cool. It's fairly easy to make. This is all cubes. What I usually do is I just form the cube first and just extract the blocks and just put them in like inlays. It's really useful and easy. Now for this one, it's also kinda easy to make this, and as you can see, it's a pretty nice rounded pillar, and well, you can only imagine what you can use that for. You can make like big town halls. Well, you can go nuts on these. So getting to the bit more rounded shapes, I wanted to show you this ball. It's really hard to make them because they're obviously cubes, and to make them look round you have to really try hard. This is about as round as you can go. Again, rule of thumb is the bigger you go, the more natural it will look, because you can add more sides to the ball itself, more faces. As you can see, this is the small version, and if I scale it up, yeah, you get like a little bit more roundness into it, and from a distance it will look a bit more natural as well. So I will show you how to make this ball, because this one is really easy as well. You can probably make this exact ball in about less than a minute, so let's go for that. There's also a neat trick which I'll be showing you. We're going to make it on top of this pillar, just to make it a little bit fancy. We'll start off with doing crosses, because that's basically an easy way to get the shape we want. Now you want to count how many blocks you're using. It's 6 blocks, as you can see, so you go 6 blocks high as well. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So as you can see, this is perfectly square. Let's commit it, and we'll make a cross. If you look from above, actually we're going to make a cross from all sides. So there we go. We're going to do the same here. You can probably already see what I'm going to do. So there we go. We're going to add another, but as you can see from the side, I'll go like 1 block down and just leave it at that. So that is 1, and again we're gonna do the cross. Drag it all the way to the other side so you don't have to do it twice. Again here. Same on the top. Now as you can see, I placed it a little bit too low. I can't really drag it underneath here, as you can see. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna create half a ball and then just copy it and replace it to the desired position. So that saves us some time as well, so it's not really that bad that we kind of screwed up here. Alright, that is the crosses. As you can see, we're already getting into this ball shape. We want to fill up this with 4 additional blocks. As you can see, that works out pretty well. Alright, now we can start adding the ramps. I always use the same method. I go with the simplest blocks first and then go to the more complicated ones. You can do it in whatever order you want, but this is just how I'm getting used to it. So we're gonna add these in. Alright, I'm gonna flip it on its side. There we go. As you can see, I'm only doing one layer because I'm lazy. We're gonna copy it anyway, so we're just gonna do half the ball here at the moment. There we go. Okay, now we're gonna go to this cut corner piece. As you can see, it will fit in nicely like this. So we're gonna place them. Gonna flip them. Whoops. I can imagine you can't really see this in a time-lapse video. It goes so quickly. Now, as you can see, another thing with these blocks, if you have the counterpart, because basically that's what this block is, you can really, if it's all like messed up like this and it's not in the right position, you can again hold Control and click this block, and then go to the block selector and select the counterpart, and you'll see that it will fit right in there. So you can actually save time trying to flip it to the right position by just clicking the counter piece that is already there. So that's another nice trick to save you some time, because there's never enough time to complete all your building desires. There we go. There we go. As you can see, we got half the ball done. We're gonna select that. Okay, we got that selected. I'll hit the copy button, but I will not do anything else. I'm gonna select this whole thing first because, like I said, I want to get it right on top of this pillar. Alright, I'm gonna remove this. And since we copied it, we can now paste it with V. We're gonna flip it first, get it into position, just fly around it a little bit, because it kind of sucks if you didn't place it at the right position. You have to remove it again. Looks alright. Right, there we have it. As you can see, it's not really difficult to create a ball like this. You can do, again, a lot of decorative pieces with this. You can just only imagine what you can do. So there's a couple more shapes I want to show you. It's this chain that is really simple to create. It basically consists out of one block that you have to create, and you can just stack them on top of each other. You can make like a nice bridge that you can yeah, tow up if there's enemies coming, like yeah. Well, you can imagine what you can do with this. You can make it appear that there's a balcony hanging on these chains. Yeah, I don't think that physics will allow it though, but well, you never know. Maybe there will be a metal type that will support this. So I hope so, because I really like chains. I think they're from that time period, and I think we need them in the game, because I mean, chains are awesome. Alright, let's get to the creation of this one. It's a lot of ramps, as you can see. We'll start off with first. Actually, I'm gonna do two on top of each other. And same here. Now we're going to the corner chip like this. Alright. And again it's the ramps, but then their sides. You can already pick a material at the moment that is grayish looking to get the feeling that it's metal, like this, the gray marble floor. You'll see some joints in there, but that doesn't bother at all. It will look pretty natural. We're gonna select this, and again we're gonna use the positioning tool, the positioning tip I showed you before. Alright, hit the copy button, hit the paste button, and we're gonna flip it on its head, turn it, go a little better than that. Right, as you can see, the only thing we have to do is move it 2 blocks downwards. And that's really easy. Just click a solid block again, or you can even use this ramp, it doesn't matter. As you can see, it's not about the block, it's about the fact that you actually click a material from your block selector. Now we're gonna drag it downwards 2 blocks, and this one as well. Now hit the V button again. You can see that it's in place. Now we're just gonna turn it on its head again, and like this. As you can see, it's perfectly in place where we wanted it. So commit it with pressing 1, and that's the first link of the chain. Now we're gonna select this whole thing, and then we can start copying until we pass out and make the longest chain ever. Hit the V button to paste, and as you can see, you can just turn it and it will be right on position. The reason that I made it an extra block high is, as you can see, it will fall down into the previous block, but that looks kind of natural because then the link is yeah, kind of normal size to me. So commit it and then just turn it with 5, put it in position, just have a good look if it's really where it's supposed to be. Again, hit 5, and you can imagine you can do this forever. So you can make a nice long link. Now to this piece over here. This is a really nice shape. I use a lot of these shapes because I like pointy stuff. It really nice. Pointy. I associate pointy with like aggressive and defensive at the same time. I mean, you scare people with that. You show them like, oh, I'm mean and I don't want you to get near because I got pointy shit, you know. So that's my association with pointy stuff. So that's why I use it a lot. This is a really easy shape once you've done it once. As you can see, it's really not that hard. If you look from above, it looks pretty much like a cube. That's basically what it is. We're gonna just recreate this one because this is a little bit more interesting or tough to make than other shapes. Now we're gonna start with a pyramid with the square face going up. So we're gonna try and do that first. There we go. Now we have to float around it a little bit to be able to see that we have to rotate it 2 more times. There we go. That's the direction we wanted. Commit it. The next block is going to be a chipped piece. A chip block basically. Like this. And you can already see the line going upwards here. And same with the other side. There we go. Now, to avoid switching materials, what I usually do is use the same material to stack them on top of each other, because what you should do without deleting is try to get this piece like this. As you can see, I have a lot of turning to do. There we go. And then we have to get this piece again. We have to get this ramp piece again, and so on and so on. What I usually do is just get this piece, copy, and then just make some and delete some, so you have one material at a time to make it less confusing. So like that is a start. And as you can see, you need the counterpart to close the ramp. So again, you can just, because we rotated it, you can just control and left click this piece, go to the block selector and select the chip to make the same rotated state. So there we go. We're gonna do this for this side as well. But this one again, like I said, I'll just stack these on top of each other, just to save a little bit of time. And again, I will just click this one with my control button, turn it. You'll get pretty comfortable around these shortcuts in kind of short time. If you use it a couple times, you'll get used to it, and you'll see that it's really useful to have these shortcuts. It saves you just a lot of time. Alright, that's the first part of the shape. Now for this to go inwards, it's pretty much the same thing, and we can use the same principle as we did with all the other pillars. We can select it, we can flip it, and paste it on its head. But that's not what I'm gonna do. We're gonna go the other way with this one. So we're gonna go inwards again. Now this is what I want to do. And again, I'm going to be stacking these on top of each other just to save some time. I'll do the same here. And then delete that. There we go. Now we go for the counterpart, since we're already here. As you can see, we need one more on top of that. Alright, now for the other part, that's where we need the ramps for. We have to complete this one, turn it. Now the final piece, as you can see, is not a ramp, and we'll save that for in a second. Go. Whoops. That was a little bit off. Now on top will be the same pyramid as we used on the bottom. But then again, we have to use, come on, there we go. So that is the final piece to complete it. As you can see, it's a different shape, but it's also a cool shape. I really like those. And from a top perspective, you can see that it's just a corner, as this was just a square. So it's really nice to put this on the corner of a pillar, for example. I'll show you by just putting a pillar right here what kind of effect that gives. As you can see, that looks really cool. You can imagine if you have a pillar and you do this on all four of the corners, you get a really nice result. You can even go a little bit further, and you can just get this one, copy it and paste it, and make another one inside there. You can go nuts on these, just wherever your imagination takes you, you can create. V, commit it. go back to the wood. And a pyramid to finish it off. Actually, if you don't want to turn, you can just control click the bottom pyramid, because it's the same. There we go. So you can see this is a really cool effect, and it's not that hard to accomplish. So just a little bit more advanced, but I think when you saw this, you can experiment a little bit with this. I want to show you one more thing. That is the cutouts that I usually do. As you can see, I made an arrow here pointing down. It's a really simple cutout. I'll show you just how I do it. You start off with a solid block like this. And if I think this is boring, I just start cutting away. It can be anything. Like I said, this time I used an arrow. Again, try to go for an even number of blocks you cut out, because then you can make the sharp, pointy edges you want. You don't need to, you can go with 3 blocks, but then you have to make sure that your structure has the space equally divided to left and right to be able to do 3 cutouts. So just select the ramp again. There we go. And it's easy like that, and it is a really cool effect. Now this is a pretty straightforward cutout. You can go a little bit more advanced if you want, and make beveled edges like this. As you can see, it's the same arrow shape, but with beveled edges. So you can make it as detailed as you want, as difficult as you want. There's another thing I like to do. You can see that I placed a really dark material underneath it, so the arrow is just the same as the first one, but as you can see, it's contrasting a lot more. So when you're really far away, you can see this arrow for sure, because it's really clear. And with this one, it gets only clear when you're approaching it, and when you're near. You can imagine that when you're far away, these colors look very much similar, and it will just fade out further you're away. So you can use that as well. And basically you do the same cutout, and you just replace the blocks that are behind it. And another thing I wanted to show you is to make a space, an opening behind whatever you cut out, like this. As you can see, I removed a couple blocks behind it. You have to make sure that your walls are thick enough, and that you don't create weak spots, of course, because you don't want that. But if there is room for creativity like this, just do it, because it's really lightening up your creation. Literally, because there is a command which is the drop light command. I did a tutorial on that as well. It's on the alpha section of Cube. You can basically create light effects at your feet. I'll show you an example of the colors that you can do. You can basically do any color, because it uses the RGB system. There used to be color blocks within Cube. They are meant for testing, so they got removed from the Cube server now. They're still an internal testing server, so that's a shame, but you can actually get the same effect with the drop lights. I'll show you what I mean by just dropping a light here. It's been dropped at your feet, so try to get it at the desired position. I think this will be right. I'm gonna pick a color. I'll go with green for today. I'll show you the command. It's a slash command, so you use the slash, you use drop light, hit the space bar, and then you enter the first value, which will be the intensity. You can have any intensity you want, you can play with that. I'll go for 4 for now. So intensity 4, hit the space bar again, and the second value will be the radius. I'll go with 4 as well, because you don't want to go too big on it, and the reason for that is that the drop light will shine through material. So if I have a too big of a radius, all the surrounding objects will light up as well, and you don't want that, because that will spoil the effect. That won't work. So after you hit the radius, you hit space again, and then you start with the value for the red color, as in RGB. So red will be 0, hit the space bar, and the green will be well, about 200. I don't want to make it like lime green, I want it to be like orcish green. So 200, hit the space bar, and for the blue value we'll hit a 0 as well. So there we go. We hit the enter button after that, and as you can see, it will drop a tiny green light of a radius of 4 and an intensity of 4. So if you take your distance, you can see that looks really nice. What I usually do is I use small intensity, small radius, and just build it up like a spotlight. So I'm going in again, just start from the bottom. You see, I'll hit another light, and underneath my feet over here you can see what I meant by the light going through material. So I probably already used too big of a radius for this, but anyways, it's just to show you the effect. So I'll go up a little bit, and as you can see, because I go from the bottom to the top, you can see that it will really pop out like this, and it will fade the more you go up. So this is a really cool effect I wanted to show you guys. Yeah, you can basically use any color, so you can really make your buildings pop out with this. Yeah. That's basically the vid for today. I hope you liked it, and I hope you can put it to good use, and keep posting those creations that you made on the forums, because we love to see them and get some ideas from that as well, because we don't know anything, we don't know everything yet. So keep posting stuff, and we'll